For the fourth time this season, but the second time already for the Ohio State Buckeyes, we have another top 10 battle on our hands this weekend. We just saw an exciting one last weekend with Washington and Oregon, and that game ended right on that 3-point number with Washington coming away with the win, just as Ohio State ended right on that 3-point number. Florida State so far, the only team to run away with a top 10 battle, but Ohio State right now sitting as 4 and 4.5 point favorites, depending on where you look, at least at the time of this recording. But they may have their toughest battle to date on their hands, maybe even tougher than that Notre Dame game. Penn State, one of just four teams so far that are undefeated against the spread on the season, but they joined Oklahoma as the only two on that list that are also 6-0 straight up. And I watch a lot of Ohio State football, and they really just haven't impressed me to the point that I know that they're capable of this year, at least on the offensive side, and definitely outside of that Purdue game last week. But I'm really not ready to back this Ohio State team until I can see them put up those kind of numbers consistently. I mean, you look at Penn State's offense, they're number one in the Big Ten in rushing offense, something that we thought Ohio State might be competing for. But right now, Ohio State sits ninth on that list. And I know they've had some injuries, but Mayan Williams really filled that hole last year, and he can't do it this year. But I think the story here is definitely the defenses of both these teams. Both of them sitting basically in the top three across the board in the Big Ten. But look at those numbers nationally, and you really see how good this Big Ten defense has been as a whole unit. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Ohio State's seventh in the nation in yards per game allowed, second in yards per play, holding teams to just 4 yards per play, and they're third in points per game allowed, holding teams to 9.7 points. But Penn State is the only team in the FBS that is holding teams under 200 yards per game and under 4 yards per play. Either one of those stats, Penn State ranks number one in the country, number two in points per game allowed. I really have a hard time backing this Ohio State team. Like I said, this Penn State defense is impressive. There's no question about it. They have the best interception to passing touchdown ratio allowed in the nation. They've only allowed one passing touchdown to 7 interceptions here. 4.5. That's a big number here, I think, in this kind of matchup, especially with the defense that Penn State has. I have to back Penn State here and take those points. I think this is another close one, and I think it comes down to the defense. Low scoring, I'm definitely going to take those points. But guys, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our page. You'll get all the content that we got coming to you this week. And if you head over to Wager Talk, you can use the code 7PASS for a 7-day all access pass for just $69. That's the number 7 and pass at checkout. And make sure you guys check out all the other videos on the screen too while you're here.